All right, we got the explosive rise of gambling, NFL, kick, and video games.
What was the first ever instance of traditional gambling? In truth, nobody really knows. The inception of gambling itself predates written history, but some of the
Oh, dang.
earliest known examples included dice, or their precursor ostrogali, which were
What the fuck? Gaming pieces. Ostrogali and dice. Are these them? Bone ostrogalus? Are these just uh like spinal pieces? What the heck?
typically knuckle bones marked with numbers or symbols.
Oh,
In
knuckle bones.
BCE
Okay.
Mesopotamia, Chinese dominoes and bets on animal fights in a similar period, or Egyptian, Greek, and Roman wager games conducted with varying forms of physical items like rocks or clay squares. These early examples were primitive, to be sure, but gambling rapidly evolved. Oznaz,
Oh
a
yeah.
Persian card game, would eventually become Western poker.
Uh-huh.
Chinese dominoes would eventually become Pai Gao, and in 1938, Venice, Italy, the first known example of a modern day casino would be born. From that point in time,
Oh, it was the the Italians. The Italians did it. Oh man. The Ridotto, a colorful place then and now. History of Ridotto. I'm probably
onward,
butchering that.
gambling has become an enormous profit sector. From 2001 to 2019 alone, gambling market yield for gaming would increase from $220 billion to $495 billion.
Oh shit, that's billions. Shit, dude. Global gambling market gross gaming. In gaming alone. So gaming gambling is half a trillion about, and it's only getting more and more. Holy shit. Oh, wait. You're able to track. Oh, 2001 to 2019, I think. Okay. God dang. I mean, this right here, it kind of seems like linear. There's gonna be some point where it starts to get a little bit more exponential. It's going to some at some point.
Dollars. But with multi billion dollar revenue generating casinos all over the world, the trajectory isn't slowing down. In fact, over the past few years, the relative growth rate of gambling in Western markets has driven.
I mean, that's just like what do you say? The net. I wonder how many people, actually engage in that. Like, how many people are responsible for that number? That like almost half a bit, or not half a billion, half a trillion number. Like the amount of people responsible for that is probably got to be like so fewer than you actually think.
Dramatically accelerated in some industries, while others tap into entirely new demographics through unregulated methods. In essence, echoing the video title here, gambling is an unstoppable force that is becoming a pervasive issue with no end in sight. To best explain, I need to
Hmm.
break this video down into three separate topics: sports betting, kick versus Twitch, and video games.
Oh,
Between these three topics, though they might seem unrelated in a sense, the concept of gambling can be shown for what it really is. That is to say, a prolific virus that continually harvests additional market share through addictive practices, conflicts of interest, and deceptive means. Of course, it's true adults are and should be free to participate in whatever activities they choose to,
yeah.
but the world of gambling is not just targeting adults, and with increasingly creative promotional structures,
Oh, it's not just targeting adults. And, like throughout the world, adult is broadly defined as a little differently. Like I think in America, you got to be an adult, you have to be 18, but in some other countries, it'll be like 17 or 16 or something like that. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. Like targeting adults with gambling, I don't think anybody really has an issue with that. The real issue uh becomes more apparent when the gambling targets uh kids. That's the real issue.
it's now growing faster than ever. Let's begin with sports betting. To explain this, I have to get a little bit technical, but I'll boil it down as much as I can. Jammed into an unrelated piece of legislation called the Safe Port Act of 2006, a rapidly drawn up and hastily modified Enforcement Act, more precisely, the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act, was signed into law by George W. Bush. This
Okay.
enforcement act banned companies from taking payments online in violation of state or federal law and effectively struck a death blow to the world of online casinos in the United States. Now,
All right. That's not that bad. I mean, it sucks if you're an adult and you like gambling. Well, then, yeah, that sucks. But, I mean, I think that's a W for kids.
now, when discussing the accelerated rise of gambling across the globe, that might seem contradictory, but it's not. See, while closing down access to certain types of online gambling, the law itself actually opened the door for simulation bets or
Oh,
fantasy betting. This would give rise
oh,
to companies like FanDuel or DraftKings, as we know them today, which offered services tagged as a skill based competition rather than simple betting methods, which
oh. So because it's a skill, they can get away with it. Oh my god.
allowed them to operate freely. FanDuel became massively popular with incredible speed, but the concept of sports betting wasn't exactly popular with major sports leagues, like the NFL, for example. It's a long and complicated history, but major leagues were understandably apprehensive about the legality and fairness of allowing bets to take place on their games, especially with relation to players, coaches, and related personnel, which
Players, coaches, and personnel. Oh my god, that's like insider trading. Like you know what's more likely to what's gonna happen because you're on the inside. Oh my god, that is so funny. I never even thought about that until you just brought it up. Like the people that are playing sports can also take bets and make bets, and it doesn't have to be directly from them either. It can just be a simple thing as telling their friend, "Hey, bet this way on this game tonight. I'm feeling good," or some shit like that. Oh man. Or you can what do they do in like tournaments and shit? Like you have to be like some of the top tier players for video games have been like accused of well, I think this was more prevalent in like the fighting game community. A lot of top players for whatever game were sometimes accused of rigging like the final match because because they were so good and could control like everything, through the polls, like top 64, top 32, top 16, top 8, because they were so good and they were pretty confident they could get up there. The grand final match would be the most susceptible to I forgot what it like match rigging because both of the players could like agree to swing a match either way. Like you'll lose and you'll win. So like one person would be like, okay, we're both pretty equal skilled. Neither of them care really who's gonna win. It's just okay. This time I'll let you win, and we're both gonna bet on this guy to win. But so like, oh, boom, the match happens, and surprise, this guy wins. So what happens is because this guy put a bet, and this guy put a bet on this guy winning, then they just go behind the scenes and be like, okay, we just split the money and like we're good. Oh man. Yeah.
stifled growth for companies like DraftKings or FanDuel for at least a few years. Insider
And I think it's easier to rig like fighting game tournament games because within fighting games, it's only ever like two people in a match. I think this would be way harder to do with like a team based game of like 4v4, 5v5, 6v6, or whatever. It's way harder to rig something like that, I think, in terms of like match fixing between teams. Like match fixing between two players is really easy. Between teams, I don't know. But I could be wrong.
betting scandals, illegal betting rings at a collegiate level, you name it, it happened. And the general atmosphere was extremely sour towards the very concept of sports betting itself, especially from administrative officials. Well, all of that dramatically changed in 2018 when the United States Supreme Court ruled that the PASPA, the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act of 1992, was
Hmm.
unconstitutional, which opened the floodgates for legalized sports betting across the United States.
Oh, dang.
What followed was a near 20-fold increase in sports betting revenue, with leagues like the NFL tacitly embracing the concept, then flat out partnering with bet providers.
God dang, that's so funny. I mean, because, bro, at my job, everybody that watches football, They got their little whatever app open. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's FanDuel, maybe it's some like other ones or whatever. They all bet. They do like little $10 bets, $25 bets, so on and so forth. Maybe they'll do like a $50 bet for some. Bro, this one dude told me there was a bet going on his app of how long the national anthem was gonna last, over 90 seconds or under 90 seconds. I was like, bro, there's a fucking bet on that shit. And then there's bets on like a coin toss on like, do you bet is gonna be heads or bet is gonna be tails? I'm like, where's the fucking skill in determining this? This is ridiculous, dude. Like, what are we doing saying that all of this is skillful?
A tidal wave of state level legalizations drove numbers higher and higher. And according to Pew Research, as much as 19% of US adults say that they have bet money on sports in the past year alone. But it doesn't stop there. See, while restrictions still linger for players of those leagues enriching
Hmm.
themselves from the sports betting industry,
Which probably doesn't really do anything. It's like, yes, you, the player, can't put a bet in, but that's what's to stop you from like your friends, like you telling a friend to like put a bet in for you. You know, it's like, oh, me, I can't directly bet, but I'm just gonna tell my friends. I'm gonna tell my family. Like, what are we doing?
owners are something else entirely. According to SEC filings, James Dolan, owner of the New York Knicks, Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, Hal Steinbrenner, owner of the New York Yankees, and Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, among others, are all substantial investors in DraftKings, which is one of the partnered betting companies directly associated with the NFL.
All
According
right,
to NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy,
bro. What was it like a couple years ago? There was like some year where I could not stop. Like, this is before I cut the cable and I would watch TV. Um, there was some year where around like football season, I forgot what channels I was watching, but like every channel I would switch to had fucking DraftKings, like a commercial on it. It was like, it was fucking everywhere, dude. I was like, I could almost like memorize all the lines that were gonna come out of this commercial. I was like, I've seen this shit so many times. Like, what the hell?
current league policy, quote, enables personnel to own equity interest in an entity that generates less than a third of its revenue from gambling related operations, end quote. Which means that while there might still be some sort of phantom guardrails in place, optically speaking, the tide has now shifted and sports betting is monumentally growing in the United States.
Oh yeah,
Now, that's already an excellent example by itself, highlighting the unstoppable rise of gambling, at least in the United States.
bro. I'm too fucking frugal for that dumb shit. Like, I could be saving my money on something else. Like, this is so stupid. But granted, I mean, I'm not gonna deny that like whenever you hit, like you win a bet, it's like you probably feel like elated and shit. A ton of like dopamine because like some of my buddies will come back and be like, oh, I just got off the gamble boat or whatever, or I just went to Hard Rock and they did like some card game or whatever the fuck, some bet. And it's like, oh yeah, I went in with like $100 and then I came out with like 600 or something. I'm like, okay, cool. You gonna do it again? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay, man. And then next time he goes, he'll be like, oh yeah. What's funny is like they'll get like a one big hit one night, and then they'll keep going back and only like doing like $100 or some shit, and then they'll lose like 200 or 300 or something like that. It'll never be like that same amount, but it'll just accumulative be just so much more over time. Like, oh, like the whole sunken cost fallacy thing, dude.
In particular, but it's only the first of three. Next is Kick, a live streaming platform that aims to compete with Twitch and YouTube, which is an even more egregious display of pervasive gambling. Kick
Hmm.
presents itself as a safe haven for streamers from unjust moderation, unexpected bans, and greedy profit sharing models. Unlike Twitch, the site offers a 95 to 5% revenue split to streamers, which is undeniably superior in every conceivable way. However, while the website may seem to operate like any other comparable streaming startup,
Um, because what was it? Like the whole thing with like Kick is like Kick and Kick is like a little what subsidiary thing business thing of the company Stake with so like what's it called? Like I'm not a business dude, but like this website kick.com is supposed to be a loss leader, which means, granted they're getting eyeballs like inside the website and seeing everything. They're getting like eyeballs on the site, and then sometimes they'll like in the look like in the recommended. What's this? Slots and casino. It's like, okay, I'm done watching my favorite streamer. What else we got? Top live categories. We got GTA, Just Chatting, or slots and casinos, number 3, or whatever. It's like, oh, let me click on that. Let me see what's going on. So it's like a form of advertisement. It's not direct, but I mean, it's just where people go because Kick just has that reputation of being the gamble website. And it's not even it's all online, right? And I think Stake, like, you can't, I forgot exactly how the fucking Stake does it, but you gamble with like crypto money or whatever, and that's like kind of shady. So I don't know. Like, I like the website, it's cool, and you get some like wild ass comments and like some wild streams. But I mean, I'm not clicking and watching the fucking slots and casino shit. It was like, where's the fucking skill in all this shit? Like, yeah, there's probably some games on Stake that are like skillful, but like, look at this dude. He's got fucking like slots and shit up there. Where's the skill? And hitting a button and it ran. It's like, how is that fun? That's not even fun, dude. Oh my god, if I want to click a button, if I want to click shit, I'll go boot up Kovacs or some shit, dude.
Startups such as Mixer before it was shut down by Microsoft, the reality behind the curtain is not so simple. The number one category on Kick is called slots and casino. This is notable because the concept of streaming slot and casino games is highly controversial right now, with Twitch being pressured to prohibit the practice entirely. Why? Because people watching websites like Twitch or Kick are often underage, which means that popular online celebrities,
Yeah.
streamers, I mean, with majority adolescent audiences are gambling in front of children. That's obviously a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Um, I mean, and even if you try to age restrict it with that whole like screen of like, can you confirm your age for me? Every little kid is gonna put in, yeah, I was born in 1976, and it was, the month and the day don't matter, and it's like, okay, confirm, and yep, you're in, you have an account, and here's this little like 12, 13-year old that just made an account, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch my favorite streamer with all these like slots and shits going. It's like, oh, well, how much credit does he have? He's got over 7,000 credits. It's like, oh, is he gonna hit what is this? The Pharaoh? Like, what are we doing? Is he gonna hit the book? A bonus? And then, oh my god, he got the clip of him winning like a bazillion dollars. Oh my god, I was there. It's like, I don't know. It's like little kids are so impressionable. That's why it's an issue, because like little kids just don't know better. I didn't know better when I was a little kid. And if I was brought up in this age of like, I don't know, like putting in fake shit in for like not gonna lie, when I was a little kid, I would 100% do that shit. Like, does this website require an age limit? And I'd be like, yeah, I was born in the fucking 1964. Yep, that's me. Yeah, I would 100% do that, dude.
Here's the real issue, though. Kick, as a company, is called Kick Streaming Proprietary Limited, which was disclosed when they released an iOS version of their application to the Apple Store. Kick Streaming is completely owned by an Australian company called EasyGo Entertainment, and
Oh,
two-thirds of EasyGo Entertainment is owned by a man named Bijan Tehrani. Remember that name. The final
Bijan Torani.
third of EasyGo Entertainment as a company is held by a separate entity called Ashwood Holdings Proprietary Limited, which
Mm,
is solely controlled by a man named Ed Craven. The second name we need to remember.
okay.
Bijan Tehrani and Ed Craven, we know this because of a lawsuit filed by a former associate of theirs against their company, are also co-owners of a crypto casino website called stake.com.
Yep.
Hopefully everyone can start to see what's happening here.
Oh shit. It's all like one big circle. It's all one big happy family of gambling and streaming. Streaming and gambling.
The owners of a crypto casino, a massive crypto casino, by the way, which pays Drake $100 million per year, as well as an untold number of streamers, a
God damn.
ridiculous amount of money to promote gambling to their underage fans, are also owners of a live streaming website aiming to compete with Twitch and YouTube. The number one category on that website,
To my knowledge, it's not like just because you stream on Kick doesn't mean like you have to gamble. To my knowledge, that's not how it goes. It's like I think you can stream on Kick and just not gamble and be fine. It's like a whole separate like agreement and contract of like whether or not you want to gamble on stream or are required to gamble. Whenever you hit like partnership or whatever or how it goes. It's like the people that are gambling on stream gamble because they want to gamble. It's not like every single person is just a super cheesed out of their mind person. Like, I gotta gamble.
is Slots and Casino, where streamers receive massive promotional balances from stake.com so that they can showcase addictive gambling to their often teenage audiences. And
Yeah.
all of this is happening on a platform where the number of active streamers participating has grown from 5 million to 12 million
Oh, shit.
in one single month.
Oh, shit. Number of active streams. Oh, active streamers on Kick. All right. That's not bad.
Taking a step back, looking at this from a macro perspective, what do we see? Well, we see an entire industry of social media influencers circumventing age restrictions on gambling advertising by using a live streaming website, seemingly built solely for that purpose, owned by the same founders as a crypto casino, where the crypto casino lines up deals with those streamers that are paid exclusively to move to the live streaming website so that they can have inflated balances and showcase the most addictive aspect of online gambling possible, winning big. That's example number 2. Example number 3 is likely to be the most commonly understood so far, but it's also the most obvious. Video games. Video games have become the highest grossing entertainment industry on earth, but the reason for that is gambling.
Well, yeah. I mean, CS would probably have like a large part to do with that. Or any game that that is free to play and requires you to buy loot boxes for shit, and there's no telling what exactly is in the loot box. Or maybe maybe you can tell what's in the loot box, but the chances are like printed right there. But who knows if those are even real.
Broken down by segment, the largest revenue stream in video games, bar none, is mobile gaming. And mobile gaming, as well as AAA level franchises in PC and console gaming, such as FIFA or 2K or CSGO, especially among others, is driven by loot boxes. Most people probably already understand what those are, but for those that don't, it's gambling, quite obviously.
Yeah.
It's pay-to-play, dopamine hit, flashy gambling where you open a box and get unknown things that in many parts of the world is entirely unregulated. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, CSGO gun cases analyzed by Jeremy Ray in 2019.
And he would analyze CSGO gun cases because like this is like the one most prevalent gambling thing in all the video game industry. Like I could probably boot up right now like some CS stream and they're probably like just gambling on like fucking what do you call it on boxes.
For those, the RTP, return to player, was significantly below that of the legal minimum in Las Vegas, and there is a return to player because CSGO crates are tied to Steam, which has tradable items and a shadow economy of cash in, cash out functionality. That's just one example from video games, but the concept of randomized loot box gambling has pervasively invaded gaming to a degree where practically every single dedicated player will recognize what it is, why it's bad, and fundamentally hate the concept. They still engage with it on occasion, but they see it for what it is. Loot box gambling, however, is not just present at a AAA level in PC and console gaming, it's overwhelmingly present in mobile gaming, which is the largest revenue stream in the gaming market to begin with.
Oh shit, I said fucking CS. I forgot about mobile. That's even worse.
Further demonstrating that the concept of gambling has invaded multiple industries now in a way where it circumvents advertising law, age law, and common decency with ever-increasing profit margins.
Oh
Here's
shit.
the kicker. Research out of Western Sydney, as just one example, showcases that gambling losses and problem gambling behavior are concentrated in lower income areas.
Oh, well, concentrated in lower income
The
areas.
saturation of slot machines and targeted risk free initial betting incentives, also
Well, what's a high income area?
sometimes called inducements, has exacerbated a problem where gambling is used to try and solve monetary issues for a lot of desperate people, thereby rapidly increasing the damage it does and leading to addiction more effectively. Likewise, by circumventing advertising laws and having crypto casinos construct an entire social media apparatus to target livestream viewers with high value slot machine gaming,
God
the
dang.
damage is being compounded faster than any traditional casino could ever achieve in its entire lifespan. 5,000 years ago, humans
Oh shit, I remember this little what do you call it? This machine. Bro, this there was always these couple coins at the edge, and it's like, "Oh, I just need one little push." And it's like, I get all these coins. Oh my god, I hated this machine.
gambled with knuckle bones and rocks. Today, they gamble with high tech smartphones in all of our pockets, and the speed at which casinos are able to find new methods of attracting customers has outpaced every single form of social taboo, governmental regulation, or societal restraint.
Oh yeah. Leave it to the internet to do something way quicker than the government can regulate it, for sure. 100%, dude.
From 1 in 5 American adults now placing bets on sports games after just a couple of years of the concept being widely legalized, to an entire generation being bombarded with prepaid gambling propaganda, really is what it is, for their sole entertainment format on live streaming platforms, as one example. The unending growth of gambling is an undeniable and seemingly unstoppable phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know what to do about the whole
I mean, like how I view gambling is like, to me, gambling is a drug. So like it's okay for, well, nobody really cares if adults do drugs. Nobody cares if adults gamble because they can do whatever they want. It's their own life. They make their own choices, whatever. But when you start to market the drug, the gambling to little kids, then most people take issue with it because it's a kid, their brains aren't fully developed. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and if they engage in it, they're going to get addicted, and it's just like this big spiral that just never really, I've never seen like a little kid get addicted to gambling that's from like a median income household or even like a lower wage income household, and them just like hit it big and be, and they're on the news like, oh yeah, I won this like some bet and I won like $3 million, and oh my god, I can buy my mom a house, I can buy my dad a house, I could buy I could solve all my family's problems because I hit the, like, I've never heard that ever. What have I heard more? I've heard like little kids losing money. I've heard adults losing money. You are more likely to lose money than you will win.
whole thing, but it was something I really wanted to talk about after a viewer mentioned a little bit about FanDuel and DraftKings and joint ownership and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it led to this video. Thank you for that comment, by the way. If you want to support the channel, there are links down below to Patreon, locals, and channel memberships. Also, if you want a VPN, a virtual private network, everyone should use a VPN. My affiliate link
Nice.
is down there as well to Surfshark, big supporter of the channel. But I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, question everything and have a nice night.
Yeah. I mean, it's gambling. I don't think it's. Yeah, you could probably, like, the government could probably regulate it a little bit better in terms of like video games, because in general people think video games are marketed towards little kids. I mean, but there's plenty of like adults that play video games and whatnot easily, and when those adults start playing, like getting on like on these fucking gamble sites like Stake and whatnot, and start advertising to little kids, it's like, I don't know. What are you gonna do? You're gonna wait for the government to step in and try to regulate it? That's gonna take way too long. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Great, but how are we gonna fix it right now? I mean, I don't think we really can. You just got to raise your kid better, really, and to like recognize what things are. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But no, it was a good video. I mean, gamblers are gonna gamble. It's whatever. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.